Hi, welcome to Intermediate Ashtanga. I'm Melanie. I'll be talking you through the class, and this is Dani. She's going to be demoing through the class. So as always, make sure you remember the practice is for you. Do what you can do, make modifications as you need to, and don't hurt yourself. Coming to the front of your mat, standing in Samastiti. Take a long, deep breath in, a long, deep breath out. And just begin to find the Ujjayi breath. Breathing gently in and out through the nose with the mouth lightly closed, remembering the importance of the breath. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze. Exhale, fold the body forward. Remember, if you can't go all the way, stop part way. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands on the floor, step back and lower through chaturanga. Your knees can always come to the ground. Inhale to upward dog, opening the chest, thighs on the ground or up. Exhale, rolling back to downward dog. And just giving yourself time to really establish how you're feeling today. You might need to walk the dog a bit. If your back or hamstrings are bothering you, move the legs a little farther apart, let the knees bend. The eyes remain open during the practice. Try to distribute the weight evenly on everything on the ground, which is your foundation. Begin to follow the subtle rhythm of your breath. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet to your hands. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga without hanging the head. Inhale to upward dog without rolling the heels. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. The awareness moves to Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, gently engaging those locks, sending the hips up and back to where the wall and the ceiling meet, establishing how your shoulders feel. So perhaps you need to move the hands farther apart or turn the wrists slightly, creating stable shoulders. Follow the rhythm of your breath. It tells you your story. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet to your hands. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, coming up right from the arches of your feet. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back. Try not to hang your head. Lower through chaturanga, elbows in close. Upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. At any point, if you need to stop, come onto your knees into child's pose. If you feel dizzy at all, stack the fists, rest the head on the hands. But remember to keep the breath. The breath creates that deep internal heat. And you are in control of your breath. Try not to force it. Just let the breath flow naturally. Let the mind follow the flow of the breath, giving the mind a place of focus. Inhale, bring the gaze and the feet to the hands. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, coming up, keeping the shoulders soft. Drishti, gaze up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. The knees can come down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You're given the gift of 5 or more breaths just to check in. Make sure you're practicing non-harming. This practice is meant to be a healing practice. But sometimes we get in our own way and we move to that place where we cause ourselves pain or discomfort. Finding ease and strength, finding that balance. Let the breath tell you your story. Listen to the cues your body's giving you, tweaks or twinges, or your body's way of saying maybe you need to change what you're doing this moment. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, samastiti. Last time, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, send the hips back. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, keep the neck long. Exhale, downward dog. Don't be afraid to explore by moving the feet, moving the hands. Remember that our bodies get used to doing the same thing over and over again. So allowing some movement allows some change, both mentally and physically. Eyes are open throughout the practice. Mind follows the rhythm of the breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Inhale, bring the feet to the hands. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, samastiti. Surya Namaskara B. The knees bend. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Make sure the knees and feet are equal distance apart. If it's back or hamstring, step the knees and feet farther apart. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right comes forward. Set the foundation of the feet, square the hips, look up if it doesn't hurt the neck. Exhale, coming back down through chaturanga. Knees can come down. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Right foot pivots, left forward. Inhale, front knee above front heel. Weight even on the feet. Exhale, coming down through chaturanga. Try not to hang your head. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. Notice how your body feels. We have to remember that sometimes our greatest challenge in this practice is knowing when to back off. Human nature is to press forward through the pain. Remember, allow your body to find strength and ease. Back off if that's what you're needing to do to find your greatest strength today. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold forward. Knees bend, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, samastiti. Knees bend, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right pivots. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe deeply. Stop if you need to stop. Let the mind follow the breath. All the external thoughts, we try to leave them behind. When we're present in our practice, the risk of injury is much less. When our minds drift and wander, it's easy to fall out of the pose and hurt yourself. Let the shoulders draw apart, inner upper arms roll slightly in. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Knees bend. Inhale, soften the shoulders. Exhale. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left pivots, inhale, squaring up those hips. Exhale without hanging the head. Inhale. Exhale, right pivots. Inhale, weight even on the feet. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Long, full breaths. Spread the fingers wide. Try to have the weight even on both hands, both feet. Don't worry if the heels come to the floor. Pay attention to what your body needs today. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, gently engaged. Softness in the mind. Softness and strength in the body. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Knees bend. Inhale. Exhale, Samastiti. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, lower through. Inhale. Exhale. Left pivots. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right pivots. Inhale. Weight even on the feet. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Check in with the body. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Move into strength and ease. Not confusing ease with easy. Allow this to be the healing practice it's meant to be. By now you should have a sense of how you're feeling today, really honoring that. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale. Last time, knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, shoulders back. Exhale, step back, lower through, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left pivots. Breathing in, hips square. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Right pivots. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Mind follows the breath. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Spread the fingers. Clear the mind. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Knees bend. Inhale. Exhale, Samastiti. Padangusthasana, step the feet about hip width apart. Place the hands on the hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Grab the big toes with the pointer and the middle finger. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Roll the gaze forward. Exhale, bend the elbows. Fold fully forward. But if halfway is better for you, honestly, bend halfway forward. The elbows bend to help take the rounding out of the upper back. The neck is long, the eyes are open. If it's back and hamstrings, remember, move your feet farther apart. Think Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine, drishti forward. Exhale, Parahastasana, slide the hands under the feet. Fingertips point to the heels. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows, let the body fold. Think about that connection of ribs to thighs. Think about all the pressure points in the soles of the feet and in the palms. Let the elbows bend to open the upper back. Let the neck be long. Let the eyes be open, allowing the breath to be present. Inhale, straighten the arms, roll the gaze forward. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samastiti. Uttita Trikonasana. Inhale, step out wide to the right, about one of your leg lengths. Right foot out, left foot is either at 90 or in at a slight ankle. As you tip the body forward, that top arm can point to the ceiling. But if your shoulder hurts, remember, place the hand on the hip or in the low back. As best you can, think shoulder above shoulder. And don't worry if your hand doesn't go to the floor. The gaze can be up, straight ahead, or down to the big toe. The neck is long. The breath is present, lifting from the arches of the feet. Your next inhalation brings you up to standing. Turn the feet and repeat the same thing on the other side. Set your foundation, travel up the structure, make adjustments through the feet if you need to. These are strong, balanced postures. Make sure that front leg isn't locked. The shoulders are open. Although the neck might be turned looking up, make sure there's freedom in the neck. That front leg is strong without being locked. The arches of the feet lift. The toes aren't clenching. And remember, you can smile. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up to standing. As you exhale, turn your feet, move into the rotation, Parivrita. The left hand comes to the outside of that right leg. Set your feet, try to square your hips, twisting to the right. That hand can stay on the low back and the hip, or the fingers can extend up to the ceiling. Gaze to the side, to the foot, up to the ceiling. Try to keep the weight even between the feet. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Exhale, turn your feet. Same thing, other side. Set the foundation. Move into the twist to the left. Square the hips. Think about having a foam block between the inner upper thighs, front hip back, back thigh forward. Perhaps shoulders being stacked. A nice straight spine, which also includes the neck. Legs strong and straight without being locked and hyperextended. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, step wide to the right, Uttita Parsvakonasana, bend that knee, knee above heel. Try to have the hips even. You can take the hand to the floor or rest the elbow on the knee or on the thigh. Other arm comes over, elbow by the ear, palm facing the floor. That top arm can always be on the hip or in the low back. As always, drishti down, straight ahead, or up. Neck long and free. Think lightly Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. One more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn your feet, bend the other knee, coming down. So set the foundation, try to have the weight even on both feet. Remember, seal the outside edge of that back foot, lift the arch at the foot, and really be mindful about not hanging out in flexibility. We strive for it, but strength and flexibility combined is what we should try to do. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Groin drops, pelvic floor lifts, the legs lightly draw towards each other. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come all the way back up. Switch your feet. We moved into the revolved Parivrita. You bring that left elbow to the outside of the knee, perhaps the shoulder to the outside of the knee. The weight's even on the feet. You try to square the hips, shoulder above shoulder, lightly pressing the palms, moving the shoulders apart. Some of you may want to put that bottom arm on the floor and extend the top arm up and over with the palm facing the floor. Seal the little toe edge of the back foot. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, switch sides. Remember, the distance between your feet might change from side to side because we're rarely the same from one side to the other. Square the hips. If you need to reset the foundation, reset the foundation. Lift the arches of the feet. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. Follow that subtle rhythm of the breath. Spine is long. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Stepping out wide to the right, Prasarita Padottanasana A. The outside edges of your own feet are parallel, roughly about one of your leg lengths, hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, drishti rolls up. Exhale, place your hands on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Straighten the arms, send the hips up and back, roll the gaze forward. As you exhale, start bending the elbows to right angles, walking the hands back if you can. Think your wrists are above your elbows and your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Perhaps it's a day where your head goes to the floor, but perhaps it's a day where you're feeling dizzy and halfway forward is more than enough. Make sure the legs are not locked. A tiny bit of softness can give you a lot more strength. Breath is present. Arches of the feet are lifting. Inhale, straighten the arms, send the hips back, roll the gaze forward. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lift the arms, shoulder height. Exhale, place the hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, drishti or gaze rolls up. Exhale, fold forward, head to floor. Now remember, you may need to reset and adjust your foundation, which is your feet. That retraction or bending of the knees to straightening gives the body permission to release. Follow the rhythm of your breath. The shoulders move away from the ears. The neck is long. The eyes are open. Try to resist sending all the weight into your toes, perhaps lightly lifting the toes and then placing them back on the mat again. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back into chest expander. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, begin to fold the body forward. Remember, if halfway is enough, that's where you should stay. You might need to bend the knees again. You might need to reset the feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades, opening the chest. It's called chest expander because we do want to open the chest, helping with our breathing. Think about bringing the hands together, creating one arm. Neck is long, eyes are open, weight is even on the feet, arches are lifting. Inhale, let the head be the last thing to come up. Keep the arms lifted. Find your way all the way back up to standing. Exhale, release the hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, roll the gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, grab the big toes with the pointer and middle fingers. Touch the thumbs to those fingertips. Send the hips back, roll the gaze forward. And as you exhale, bend the elbows out to the sides. Once more, reset your feet. Remember, if your head went to the floor in any of these other positions, it probably would go to the floor again if you just adjust your feet. The elbows draw directly out to the sides. Try not to tip them forward or touch them to the knees. Let that upper back open. Feel the work through the shoulders. The neck is long. Imagining Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha lightly lifting. Listen to the story of your breath. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat into Samastiti. As we move to Parsvattanasana, the hands come behind the back, palm to palm, so a reverse prayer. You can also do knuckle to knuckle or hold your elbows. As you inhale, step your right foot out. Your left foot turns in slightly. It's not too wide of a stance from the front big toe to the back heel. An exhalation takes the body halfway or all the way forward. Our tendency is to send the weight into the front foot. Try to keep the weight even on both feet. That front knee can bend slightly so you can get the action of sending the hips up and back as though you're moving to downward dog. Bringing the ribs towards the thighs. Some of you may fold all the way forward. Keep the eyes open. Keep the neck long. Keep the arches of the feet lifting and the breath present. On your next inhalation, bring yourself back up to standing. As you exhale, turn your feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, roll the gaze up. Exhale, fold halfway or all the way forward. If your hands are in that prayer position, remember you're lightly pressing the palms together, sliding the fingertips up the spine to where the hairline and the neck meet, drawing the elbows lightly towards each other. The hips are squared. The breath is strong. The feet are your foundation. This is your preparation for the balance postures that are coming. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat into Samastiti. Moving into balance, weight goes to the left foot, lifting the right. You can hold the back of your thigh, you can hold the side of your foot, your big toe mound, and the body folds forward. The left hand can be on the hip. You can draw the palm down the thigh. You can use a wall if that's what you need. But remember, while this is balance, it's also a forward fold. Try to bend from the hip creases. Try to keep the hips even. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up to standing. Exhale, take the leg out to the side. So try to allow the hip to move in the socket. Your drishti, your gaze, can go the opposite direction. You can hold the toe, the back of the thigh. Visualize your hips, visualize your shoulders. Visualize a nice straight spine. As you inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, come back up to standing. Place your hands on your hips. Extend the leg and point the toes forward. Visualize the hips. Pay attention to the spine. Try not to lean back. If you find yourself leaning back, bend the knee. Move the thigh up, allowing the hip to move in the socket. And then try extending the leg again. Exhale, lower the foot back down to the ground and take a moment to walk it out. Switching sides, weight to the right, lifting the left. Hold what you need to hold. Fold the body forward. Use the feet. Big toe mound, little toe mound forward. Other 3 toes draw towards you. Spine is long. Try to lift the arch of the weight-bearing leg. This is a good time to smile and unclench the toes. Inhale, come back up to standing. Exhale, take the leg out to the side. Give that hip permission to move in its socket. Remember, the hip is ball and socket. Let it move. Chest lifts, shoulders open. Although the head's turning, a smooth neck. Breath is present, telling you the story of you. As you inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, extend the leg. Point the toes. Hands to the hips, or you can support that leg if you need to. Lift the chest. Use the power of the breath and the drishti. Retract and straighten if you find more strength that way. And don't let your mind get in your way. As you exhale, flex and lower down through Samastiti. Walk it out if you need to. Coming into the second part of the balance, weight to the left. Right foot can come into half lotus. You can reach around the back and grab your right foot and fold the body forward. Or you can rest the right ankle on the left knee and fold forward halfway into that half chair position. If you're all the way forward, the neck is long, shoulders are even, the breath is present, the toes are unclenched. Inhale, come part way up, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Walk it out if you need a moment. Switch sides, weight to the right. Left foot in half lotus. Remember your option of putting that left ankle on the right knee. Fold half or all the way forward. Do what's best for your body. Neck long, eyes open, breath present. Weight is even on everything on the ground. Thinking gently, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, come up, pause. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release, Samastiti. Inhale, lift the arms and the gaze. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, bring the gaze and the feet to the hands into Utkatasana or chair pose. Knees bend, arms and gaze lift. If there's pain in the back or the hamstring, the knees and feet are farther apart, but keep them equal distance apart. Find the natural curve of your spine. The sternum lifts, the drishti, the eyes roll up, and the neck is smooth. Remember, know that where your arms are should benefit your shoulders. So don't be in a position where the shoulders are in pain. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through chaturanga. Put the knees down if you need. Inhale, upward dog, open the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Virabhadrasana A, warrior one, left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. Set your foundation, the feet. Adjust your hips. Draw your shoulders lightly down. Keep the neck smooth. Take the drishti up. Seal the palms if you can. But remember, if that's causing you stress or strain in the shoulders of the neck, move the hands apart. Front knee above front heel. Lift the arches of both feet. Groin drops, pelvic floor lifts. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, turn the feet and come into it on the other side. Reset the foundation. Track up, try to square the hips. So front hip back, back thigh forward. Lift the arch of the back foot, sealing the back side of the foot. Shoulders draw down. Neck is free. Drishti, gaze rolls up. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. And then open to be. So reset your feet. Front knee above front heel or ankle. Travel up the structure to the hips. See if the hips are as even as you can get them. Have your hip bones pointing straight ahead. The arms parallel to the floor unless the shoulders hurt. Put your hands on your hips. That back foot is either at 90 or turned in slightly. Try not to let those toes turn out. Your drishti is to the hand over the bent knee. Groin drops, pelvic floor lifts. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, turn the feet, coming down. Again, set the feet. Go up, travel to the hips. Reset the feet if necessary. Shoulders down the back. Gaze to the hand over the bent knee. Back arm straightens. Shoulders drop. Unclench the toes. It's as though the feet are drawing towards each other. One more breath in. One more breath out. Exhale as you transition to chaturanga, keeping the elbows in, the head not hanging. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Moving to the seated postures, inhale, look forward. Exhale, sit down into Dandasana. Stretch the legs out. Lift the hips, tilt the pelvis. Travel up the spine to a straight spine, maintaining the natural curve. Drop the chin to the chest. Lift the chest to the chin. The eyes are open. If back or hamstrings are bothering you, move the legs slightly apart and let the knees bend. Remember, your foundation is changed now, but don't forget about your feet because you're not standing on them. Use them. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Grab your big toes with the pointer finger and the middle finger touching the thumbs to those fingertips. The elbows draw out. The neck is in line with the spine. Perhaps your ribs move towards your thighs, and perhaps they don't, but it is a forward fold, so try to bend from the hip creases. Let your knees bend if you need to for back and hamstrings. Let them be a little farther apart if you need to. Let them be straight if you can. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, change the grip of your hands, grabbing the outsides of the feet, thumbs below the big toes. Lengthen the spine, breathe in, and breathe out. Let the body fold. The drishti can roll towards the big toes without overarching your neck. You remember, you can roll your eyeballs independently from moving your neck. Use your breathing. Let those elbows bend. Don't be afraid of a little bit of movement, walking the bottom a little bit from side to side or back. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, lengthen the spine, straighten the arms. Exhale, release. Here you can spark, or if you want to move through the vinyasas, go ahead and move through the vinyasas. It's your practice. Do what works for you today. As you find your way back, moving into Purvattanasana, which is inclined plane or crab pose. The foundation is feet and hands. So remember, if you're doing the full variation, make sure your feet are on the floor. The gaze can go up as long as the hips are lifted. If the knees are bent, knees and feet equal distance apart with the heels below the knees. Slowly lower yourself down. Either spark or move through your vinyasa. As you move back to a seated position, Your left leg is straight, and your front foot, your right foot, comes into half lotus. You can reach around, grab the foot, folding the body forward. Remember your options. Half lotus is a lot about the hips and the knee. So if half lotus isn't available today, you can always hold and cradle the leg. If you need to bend the left knee, allow it to soften slightly. Make sure that you're not locking the leg. Try to square your shoulders up. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa, transition to the other side. Right leg straight, left foot, half lotus or cradle the leg. Try to keep the hips as squared as you can, folding the body forward. And what is forward for you today? Could be halfway. Again, check in, make sure the body's strong, make sure there's softness. Listen to the story of your breath. Make sure your breath is present. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa. Remember, the vinyasas are for your benefit, so don't do them if they're causing you pain. Left leg is straight. Right foot tucks back, roll the calf out if you can, and fold the body forward. If you're struggling to keep the weight even on both glutes, you may find that a light blanket under that left glute will help. Make sure the leg is not locked. Use both feet. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Remember, wherever your hands are has a relationship to what you're doing with your shoulders, so be mindful that the shoulders are drawing lightly down the back. Breath is present. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark, and switch sides. If you were using something under that left glute, switch it over to the right side. Perhaps it's a day where you don't need it on the other side, and that's fine. It's really learning to pay attention to what you need, knowing that this practice is different, as is every practice, each time we come to the mat. The mind follows the breath, allowing this practice to become the truly meditative practice it's meant to be. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Move through the vinyasa or spark. Remember, with the vinyasas, each movement has a breath. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Moving to Jana Shishasana A, left leg straight. Right foot tucks in, the foot presses against the inner thigh, or you roll the foot open. Folding the body forward. This is a slight twist that originates in the low back, which not all twists do. Trying to lengthen both side bodies equally. Shoulders lightly down the back. That left leg is strong without being locked. Use the feet. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Weight is even on both sides of the body as best you can. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa to switch sides. Right leg straight, left comes in. Set your foundation. Fold into the posture. Notice if the hips are even. Notice if the leg is strong without being locked. Allowing the shoulders to open. Softening the gaze. Following the flow of the breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa. Transitioning to Jana Shishasana B. Left leg is straight. Right knee bends. The heel slides beneath you, body folds forward. That right knee opens about 85 degrees. The left hip draws back. The left big toe mound draws forward, lengthening both side bodies equally, opening the shoulders, not letting the head hang or the chin thrust. Use the drishti, thinking lightly Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Transitioning to the other side. Right leg straight, left heel slides under. Left knee opens about 85 degrees, drawing the right hip back, pressing the right big toe mound forward. Remember, where you hold your leg has that relationship to your shoulders, so be mindful of that. Neck is long. Keeping the weight as even as you can in both sides of the body. Not locking that right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa, whatever you need to do. Following the flow of your breath and transitioning into Jana Shishasana C. Left leg is straight, right toes curl under. The heel slides into that area just below the belly button. Shoulders drop, body strong. Now remember, if you can't come to this position, you can pull the right toes back with the right hand, and you can even let the right ankle rest on the left bent knee. Modify as you need to, but remember, a big part of this pose is to work your feet. If you're feeling tweaks and twinges in your knee, pay attention, come out of the pose, and modify as you need to. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Come into it on the other side. Right leg straight, left toes tuck, body folds. Remember, you may need to modify one side and not the other. It's being respectful of ourselves, treating ourselves kindly, practicing non-harming. The breath is present, the feet are active. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa. Transitioning to Marichyasana A. Left leg straight, right knee bends, wrapping the right arm around the right leg. Reach around, clasp the hands. Remember the wrapping hand, so the right hand is the grabbing hand. Trying to square up the hips and the shoulders, allowing the body to fold forward. You may need to bend that left knee slightly. Working with your breath, really exploring movement if that's what you need. You may find that even turning that right foot out slightly brings a bit of relief. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark, vinyasa, transition to the other side. Right leg straight, left knee bends. Left arm around the left knee, right hand behind the back. It is a forward fold, so try to bend from the hip creases. So if you need to bend that right knee to allow your body to fold from the hip creases, do that. It doesn't mean that's where you'll be forever. Let go of the attachment to the perfect pose and be content where you are today within each posture. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa. Coming to Marichyasana B. As you transition to B, the left foot is in half lotus, the right foot is on the floor, the right arm goes around the right leg, and the left hand goes behind the back. If you are not able to do half lotus, just place the left leg on the ground and place the left foot behind the right heel. You may find that if you are in the half lotus position, Jalandhara Bandha, that chin lock is lightly engaged and the head is on the floor. Opening the shoulders, following the breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa, transitioning to the other side. Right foot half lotus, left foot sole to the floor. Left arm around the left leg, right hand behind the back. It is still a forward fold, body folds forward. Modify as you need to. Remember, as always, if you're feeling dizzy, don't try to go all the way forward. Use your breathing. Each posture is here to teach us something. Pay attention to the lesson the posture is teaching you today. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, release. Spark, vinyasa, following the flow of your breath. Transitioning to Marichyasana C. The left leg is straight. The right knee bends. Left arm to right leg. And you're twisting to the right. Now you may find you can clasp your hands behind your back, but many of us can't do that. So modify as you need to. If you need to slide that right foot farther away from your body to maintain a straight spine, allow it to move. Keep the neck free. Keep a smile on your face. Follow the breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Remember the importance of that little bit of lean after the twist if you're not doing the vinyasa. And transition to the other side. Right leg straight, left knee bends. Right arm around the left leg. Twisting to the left. Use your breathing. Don't be afraid to adjust that left foot, moving it in a bit or out a bit. Don't be afraid to bend that right knee if you need to. Although the legs are in different positions, they are your foundation, so adjust them according to what you need to do to try to keep the weight even. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, lengthen the spine, back to the center, and exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa. Transitioning to Marichyasana D. The left foot is in half lotus. The right foot is on the floor. The left arm goes around the right knee. The hands bind behind you. The twist is to the right. If that left foot won't go into half lotus, just simply place it on the floor as you did in the B variation, behind the right foot. Chest lifts, shoulders open, breath is present. One more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale back to the center, release, spark or vinyasa, and transition to the other side. Right foot in half lotus, left foot to the ground. Right arm to left knee, twisting to the left. Adjust the body as you need to. Adjust your foundation. And adjust the structure, which is your body, from the ground up. Neck is smooth even though it's turned. Look right out of the corners of your eyes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Release it back to the center. Exhale. Spark or vinyasa. Transitioning into your favorite posture, Navasana. As you come down to a seated position, if you do struggle with tailbone problems, a light blanket underneath you can help. You can have the knees bent, Lengthen the spine, lift the sternum, roll the gaze up. You can always use the hands to support the legs if you like. Use your feet. Come down, cross at the shins, spark, and come back up. Lengthen from the base of the spine. Your knees and feet can be together, or they can be equal distance apart. You may find that you want to put the palms at the backs of the thighs and attempt to straighten the legs. Roll the gaze up, take a breath in, a breath out, spark without dropping the head, and come up for the last time today. Breathing. Remember, this is also called boat pose. Don't let your boat sink. Lift, lengthen, use the arms to benefit the shoulders, creating shoulder stability for what's to come. Breathing in, breathing out, spark. Vinyasa, if you like, transitioning to Bhuja Pidasana. From downward dog, you move the feet around the hands. Your hands are now the foundation. You may find that you want to bend the elbows, drop the backs of the thighs to the bent elbows, and stay there without hanging the head. Some of you may want to cross the ankles and attempt to lift the feet off the floor. Keep the breath present. Follow the rhythm of your breath. And as you're ready to come out, you may just want to lower yourself down to a seated position or uncross the ankles, extend the legs out, and move back through Chaturanga. You can always leave Chaturanga out if you like, or leave the Vinyasa out. You're moving now into Karmasana. As you sit on your mat, you bend the knees, you bring the hands to the floor between your legs, and that might be enough. Or you start to slide your arms under the legs with the arms straight, the palms flat, and the fingers pointing to the wall behind you. Try to get your elbows from under your knees. Don't try to straighten your legs if your elbows are directly below your knees. Your knees can be straight or bent. Your toes point up to the ceiling. Try not to let the feet flop out. Try not to let the head drop below the shoulders unless you're in the full pose. Lift your chest. Moving into Supta Karmasana, you can start to bend the elbow, shift the weight onto one glute, lifting the other, allowing the arms to come around in the low back. You can start to move your heels towards each other. Some of you may be able to cross your ankles. Some of you may clasp your hands. If it's comfortable to let the head drop down, just let the head drop down. The eyes remain open. Again, pay attention to your breath. Take one more breath in and one more breath out, and slowly begin the transition out of the pose. This is an important vinyasa. If you feel you can do the vinyasa, move through the vinyasa. If you're not able to move through the vinyasa, even a downward dog will help get the body back to a neutral position. As you come back to a seated position, moving into Garbha Pindasana. If you're able to sit in lotus, sit in lotus. If you're able to slide your hands through the legs and hold the chin, do that. Otherwise, clasp the outsides of your legs. Tip your chin down towards your chest and moving in a clockwise circle 5 to 9 times around, back to a seated position. Try not to let it turn into an exercise in whiplash. Try to make sure the chin's down and you're actually rolling on the spine. As you come up, Kukuttanasana or Utplutihi, lifting the gaze, looking to where the floor and the baseboard meet for about 5 breaths. Releasing down, again, you can move through a vinyasa if you like, or spark. Coming into Baddha Konasana. The knees bend and the foot soles meet, trying to seal at the pinky toe heel side of the foot. The heels are in close to the body if you're able to do that. The thumbs go to the balls of the feet and the hands cup around the fronts of the feet, and you open the feet, working into the feet, the ankles, and the hips. The elbows are in close to the body. The shoulders draw down the back. The first variation, A, is with a long, flat back. Try not to let the head hang down. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Take one more breath in and one more breath out, transitioning to B, where you round from the base of the spine. Elbows are in close to the body, or you can place them on the floor in front. But again, rolling the feet open, really working the feet. Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock might be lightly engaged. The eyes are open. Each time you exhale, just squeezing a little bit more air out of the lower abdominals, trying to keep the weight even on the foundation, so not allowing the glutes to lift up off the floor. And take one more breath in and one more breath out, bringing yourself back up to a seated position. You can vinyasa, or you can extend your legs straight out to a wide V-like position, moving into Upavishta Konasana. Legs are wide, feet are flexed. Again, it's a forward fold, so get those hips lifted so you can tilt at the pelvis. Don't lock the legs, press through the heels. A long spine, so you can hold the legs, the shins, the calves, the ankles, clasp the big toes with the pointer finger and middle finger if you like. Try not to let the head hang down below the shoulders. The legs are strong without being locked. So you may find that if your hamstrings are really tight, a light bend in the knee. Breath is present. For some of you, your chest may come to the floor. And for some of us, it doesn't. Just be happy with wherever you're at. As you inhale, bring yourself up to a nice straight spine. Exhale, release. Then you bend the knees, lift the feet up off the floor, coming into Upavishta Konasana B. So you can stay with the knees bent. You can hold the toes and begin to straighten the legs. Lift the sternum, center of the chest, roll the eyeballs out. Use the feet. Try not to sink back. Keep the spine nice and long. Be sure to find your strength and your flexibility, not just hanging out in your flexibility. Take one more breath in and one more breath out, releasing the feet, the legs back down to the ground. You can move through a vinyasa, or you can roll onto your back, and you do the same thing, Supta Konasana, with the feet on the floor over the head. If you know it's not a day to take the toes to the floor over the head, you can lie on a flat back with the legs up in the air in a V-like position. Now your foundation is changing, so in a perfect world, you want that spine to be nice and long and tall. The legs are as far apart as they were in the seated position if possible. Hands can be in chest expander, the hands can be in the low back, or you can hold the feet. The natural curve of the neck for space for one or two fingers between the floor and the neck. The chin moves slightly away from the sternum. Breathing. Taking one more breath in, one more breath out. Slowly coming up as you inhale, pause. Exhale, fold forward for 2 breaths. If that doesn't happen, just roll up and go into the seated variation for 2 breaths. Get there how it's best for you. After your second exhalation, come back up. Again, you can vinyasa, or you can simply roll onto your back, preparing for Supta Padangusthasana. Supta Padangusthasana is like the standing balance. So Supta means reclined. You're on the back. Adjust your neck. Left leg is straight, right leg is up in the air. Hold the back of the thigh, hold the calf, hold the foot. And as you exhale, peel the torso up off the floor. Make sure that left leg is active. The shoulders and the hips are even. Breath is present. Neck is free. On your next inhale, lower the torso down. And as you exhale, allow that right hip to move in the socket and take the leg out to the right. Use the left hand on the hip to ensure that that hip is not over lifting. The gaze, the drishti, can go the opposite direction. Visualize the shoulders, try to have them even. Remember, you want the weight to be as even as possible on everything that's on the ground. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. As you inhale, bring the leg and the gaze back to the center. Exhale, bringing the torso towards the thigh. Inhale, torso comes down. Exhale, lower the leg down. Take a moment. If you need a pause to bend the knees, check in with the back, do that. Otherwise, transition to the other side, left leg lifts. Adjust the foundation, square the hips, and as you exhale, lift the torso off the floor. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Keep that right leg engaged. Make sure you're trying not to let it flop to the side. Breath is present. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, torso down. Exhale, leg moves to the side. Again, right palm on right thigh or right palm on the floor, however you need it. Shoulders as even as you can get them. Head turns the opposite direction. Both feet are active. Trying to let those ribs soften and connect top and bottom half of your body right there at the core, at the center, not using your back. Inhale, bring the leg back up. Exhale, lift the torso towards the thigh. Inhale, torso down. Exhale, leg comes down. Here you can bend the knees, let them rock a bit. You can move through a vinyasa. Your toes will move towards the floor above your head. And you'll reach above your head, grab your feet, and rock up into a seated position. Now, if that's not going to happen today, just sit up, extend your legs in the air, and grab your feet. Follow your breath. You can hold the thighs, you can hold the calves, you can hold the feet, you can hold the toes. Visualize a straight spine from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Your eyeballs roll up. The breath is strong. Now releasing, folding yourself in half if possible. Do the best that you can do. Knees bent, legs straight. Follow the rhythm of your breath. One more breath in. One more breath out. Release the legs down. Spark. Vinyasa. Coming back to a seated position. From your seated position, you can vinyasa onto your back, or you can come directly onto your back. We're leaving Setu Bandhasana out, moving into Urdhva Dhanurasana, the wheel, or the hip lift. We'll do 3, but if 3 is not in your practice today, do the number that works for you. If you're doing the hip lift, the knees are bent, knees and feet equal distance apart. Try to have the heels below the knees. Come up as you're ready, low back, mid back, upper back. Rolling the shoulders towards each other, keeping that natural curve in the neck. You stay up for roughly 5 breaths. You come down for a recovery breath. And you move into the second variation, either repeating this hip lift again or moving directly into the wheel. Once you've done the number that you're going to do, you go back to a seated position and move into the seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Use your breathing. Remember, in Paschimottanasana, you may need the knees bent for back and hamstrings. Your legs can be farther apart if necessary. The shoulders are opening. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. You can either vinyasa into your shoulder stand, Sarvangasana, or move directly into your shoulder stand. Remember, the foundation changes now, so if you're feeling strain at all in the neck, shoulders, eyes, or ears, or back, maybe it's a day where you move to the wall and do legs up the wall. You can even lift the hips by elevating them with a light blanket underneath. In shoulder stand, in a perfect world, it's shoulders, hips, knees, heels. Hands can be in chest expander, palms flat in the back, or flat on the mat. The sternum, center of the chest, is moving to the chin. If they touch, chin moves slightly away, hips lift. Maintain that natural curve. Slowly begin to lower the toes towards the floor into Halasana, plow pose. You can always bend the knees until the toes touch the floor and then begin to straighten the legs. The tops of the feet are on the floor. The feet are sealed side by side. Keep that natural curve of your neck. Place the hands where they support you the best. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Now let the knees drop down on either side of the ears, coming into Karna Pindasana. Feet are side by side, hips above the shoulders. Chin moves slightly away from the chest. Breath is present. Coming up into a half shoulder stand and finding Padmasana, which is lotus. If lotus isn't an option today, you can do cross-legged. Hands can be below the knees or palms can rest in the low back. Again, pay attention to your breath. It is so important right now. Your neck is in a precarious position. So be very mindful you have the natural curve of your neck. Slowly releasing the hands, dropping the knees towards the floor. Hands can come around, binding, clasping the hands, or hold the legs. Again, the hips continue to lift, chin slightly away from the chest, natural curve of the neck. Pay attention to your breathing. Slowly releasing into Matsyasana, which is fish pose. In Ashtanga, Matsyasana is done in lotus, rolling up into that gentle back bend, hands holding the feet. If that's not possible, you can do the variation with your legs straight. Make sure all the weight of the body is not on the head. Gently squeezing the shoulder blades, lightly drawing the knees towards each other, using the power in the feet. Follow the rhythm of the breath. If you do go into the extension, you release the feet, begin to straighten the legs in the air, bring the arms together in the air, palm to palm. And again, be mindful of the breath. Keep in mind it is a back bend, so lightly squeezing the shoulder blades. Releasing, bringing the thighs into the chest. You can roll into a vinyasa if you like, or you start your preparation for Shirshasana, the headstand. Remember, the headstand is an inversion, so if you know today downward dog is a better option, or dolphin pose, or tripod pose, do one of those. As you do transition into your headstand, stay in the headstand for as long as you like. Make sure all the weight of the body is not in the head. Make sure you're breathing. Some of you like to come down halfway for 5 breaths and then transition back up to the full headstand. When you are ready to come out of the headstand, Make sure that you stay down on your mat in child's pose. If you're feeling dizzy at all, just lift the head, stack the head on the fists. But come back to that place of mindful breathing. As you're ready to come out of child's pose, you can move directly to the last 3 closing postures, or you can do your vinyasa there. As you come to a seated position, you can sit in lotus, right leg and then left, or you can sit in a position that's comfortable for you, cross-legged, half lotus. I suggest alternating the way the legs are crossed, just to keep the hips even. The chin tips towards the chest and the body folds fully forward. Make sure there's weight in the glutes, that the weight is not all in the crown of the head. The eyes are open. Finding that deep ujjayi breath, reigniting that flame of fire within the body, keeping the body warm. These last 3 poses can be held for longer than we're holding them. It's up to you to decide what is it you need to center the mind and the body. On your next inhalation, bring yourself back up to a seated position. Extend the arms straight, palms facing up, with the thumb and index finger touching. The chin drops down to the hollow of the throat. The sternum lifts to the chin. The shoulders draw down, maintaining the natural curve of your spine. The eyes are open, and the breath is strong. As you inhale, you lift the gaze. Exhaling, placing the palms on the floor beside you, lifting to Utplutihi. If you're not able to sit in lotus, just do this with your legs crossed and lift for as long as you can, but I do know that all of you can hold for at least 5 breaths. You can always come back down and come back up. As you're ready to set yourself down, you can release and transition to Shavasana, whether you move through Vinyasa first or you just lie yourself right down. Once you get into Shavasana, take a moment to set the foundation. If your back's bothering you, you might need the knees bent. But as you settle in, take a long, deep breath in, a long, loud letting go exhalation. Just surrender the ujjayi breath. Let the breath return to a normal breath. The practice is like a life cycle. It begins with an inhale, ends with an exhale. And we lie in gratitude to ourselves and to our bodies. Slowly, awareness begins to return, allowing movement gently back into the body, moving fingers and toes perhaps, or perhaps bending the knees, letting them rock for the back. If it feels good, roll slowly over onto one side, supporting the head and the bottom arm for the neck. Just take a breath or 2 here to start your transition back to your day. Remember, take the kindness you practice on your mat out there into your daily lives. As you come to a seated position, seal your palms together at heart center, resting the thumb on the sternum, bringing balance back to both hemispheres of the brain. Inhale all the positive healing thoughts. Exhale, release what you don't need. Taking a moment of gratitude once more to you. Thank you for sharing your practice with Dani and I this morning. Namaste.